On today's show,
Praise Threesis. Kyle Korver replaces D. Wade on the Eastern Conference All-Stars.
we open up the mailbox and answer how LeBron James can win MVP this season.
And in the mean team, Dwight Howard wears a suit from the new IKEA collection.
It's Wednesday, February 11th. The starter starts now.
Good day, sweet world, and welcome to the starters, aka Four Guys in Plaid. We planned this. Whether you're joining us live online, listening to the podcast, or catching us on NBA TV, we're very, very happy to have you. I'm J.E. Skeets, and alongside me, as always, that's Tass Mellis.
Thank you for joining us.
To my right, starters blog editor Trey Kirby.
Hey, oh.
And finally, the international man of mystery. It's Lee Ellis.
Amigos.
Lily, all right, lots of fun tonight. We're going to get into the mailbox. You guys have sent in some great questions. We've also got an early edition of the meme team because we're headed to NYC for All-Star Weekend tonight. But first, yesterday, Dwayne Wade, he made it official. The 11-time All-Star said that he will not play in Sunday's All-Star game because of the right hamstring injury. He said he would rather return in a Heat uniform first. So, Atlanta's Kyle Korver, let's get it out of the way right now, has been selected to replace D-Wade on that Eastern Conference All-Star team. Korver averaging just a tad under 13 points per game, shooting the lights out from three. Everyone knows that, at nearly 53% from downtown. And that makes, which is crazy, 4 Atlanta Hawks as All-Stars and their coach, Mike Budenholzer, really 5.
We've got 5. On Sunday, what we need is a Kyle Korver cam with a K. A camera that just follows him around the entire time. Him hunting threes, because that's what he does. His teammates always looking for him. His opponents always looking for him. But if his opponents turn over the ball, they're like, oh, where is he? So I just want a camera on Kyle Korver the entire time because it's so much fun. We've got 1 billion cameras there on Sunday. Just put one on this man. He has been splendid to watch. Watching him off the ball is really fun.
So you think he's going to get some open threes in the All-Star game?
Yeah, maybe,
I don't
maybe
know about
two.
that
I know the
defense.
defense won't be that upset, but we need a Kyle Korver ISO cam throughout the year.
Well, this is going to be pretty cool. We've seen 4 guys from the same team in the All-Star game before. The latest we saw was 2011 with the Celtics. Before that, the one a lot of people remembered the most for some reason, maybe it's because they all checked in at the same time, was the 2006 Detroit Pistons when it was the 2 Wallaces and it was Billups and it was Rip Hamilton. And I mean, it really was a cool All-Star moment.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
When Flip says, all right, everyone in there, in the first half. And in fact, they would come back and play in the second half of that game with LeBron. And actually helped them come back from like 21 down in that game and played some defense, amazingly enough, in an All-Star game to get the W. I think we'll see these 4 Hawks with LeBron James at one point in this game.
There's not much coaching usually in an All-Star game, and there's going to be even less now with Budenholzer. If he says that you guys just go out there and just do what we normally do, they'll probably run up a 20-point lead over the West because, I mean, that's the thing for Mike Budenholzer. Like, what a great honour it is for him and a great sign that his team is doing so well and being recognised for all their achievements this year.
Yeah, his second year as a head coach to get the honor to be an All-Star coach it's pretty phenomenal. And
Yeah, and especially this has been the big storyline of the first half of the season, that the Hawks have been so good. I don't think you necessarily have to reward winning by taking 4 guys, but they've had such a big impact on the league this year. How do you not?
Yeah.
And they're, again, the last 4 teams to do it, including the 2015 Hawks, to have 4 reps in that same season go and represent you in the All-Star game.
I was shocked by the 2011 Celtics that Doc Rivers didn't bring his 4 guys in off the bench at the same time. Doc being such a team guy, Ubuntu and all that stuff. I was pretty surprised.
And we should know, the Celtics and the Sixers have done this before in the past. It's just, we're just showing you from, 1998, the Lakers being the last one to do it. Kobe and Shaq voted into that game. I'm not upset that Korver is, of course, the 4th selection, but we argued it in Crossfire yesterday. I'm a little disappointed there hasn't been a little bit more love for Bucks point guard Brandon Knight, who I think is well deserving of this spot. And maybe there's more to come, and we'll get to that in a second with whether or not Carmelo Anthony plays. But this guy, what he's doing, and look, the Bucks are winning games because of defense. Okay, I mean, everyone knows that. That's how they're winning the majority of the games and have been one of the big surprises of the season. This was the worst team last year.
Yeah.
The worst team, and now, nearly a 30-win team at the halfway mark. He's the one that does take over games late and hits big shots and has put up some solid numbers. I'm just saying.
But his numbers
should be a
are
little more
basically
love.
the same as they were last year. I think it's more, if he makes the All-Star team this year, you're saying their team was so bad this year, or last year, that's how he's making it, because it was kind of an aberration, I feel like, last year, that they were so bad. Larry Sanders got hurt, he had those off-court troubles, things just went bad from the start. This year, they have their whole team together, and they're just better, they have a better coach.
Look, I get that, but everyone's gotten so crazy about, well, there's got to be 4 Hawks there, and maybe even Damari Carroll should be there. Like, where's the same love for, well, the Bucks are really good. Shouldn't they have a rep there?
I don't know. That seems very Devin Harris in 2009 to me. Just a guy you take because their team is okay.
I think it's just Korver or Brandon Knight. The coaches game plan for Kyle Korver. They don't game plan for Brandon Knight the same way they do for Korver. And we're watching one of the best shooting seasons ever right now. And that just has to be awarded. Even though he's not a takeover guy, even though Brandon Knight probably contributes in more areas than Kyle Korver, we're just watching a special season. And a guy that coaches game plan for. So that's why he was my pick.
What about you, Lee? Are you still out there on Vucevic Island?
It's a very lonely island I'm on, yes. But no, look, I don't have a problem with Kyle Korver, and nor would I have a problem with Brandon Knight getting in. But I definitely think Vucevic should have been getting more recognition because he's having individually a great season. The Magic's record isn't there. But if you look at his numbers as they stand alone, and ignore the defense because I know he's not the best defensive player in the world, but they're not a great defensive team. He's putting up great numbers, shooting the ball at a high percentage. He's basically a 20-10 guy. He'd be the only one in the league who is 20-10 who's not there. I think he certainly would be the next guy in if there was another replacement needed.
Well, I said there might be another open spot, maybe for a guy like Brandon Knight, maybe for a guy like Vucevic, because we're not really sure if Carmelo Anthony is going to play in Sunday's game. He is dealing with the knee injury. He's battled with it on and off all season long. We know that. He has said, I'm not 100% sure if I'm playing in the weekend's big game there in Madison Square Garden. He's considering surgery to repair his knee, and he's listed as doubtful tonight for tonight's game here on Wednesday. You'd be surprised if he doesn't play, though, right?
I think he's building a little bit of suspense here. I mean, he has to play, right? He is an ambassador for this city, for this Knicks franchise that's hosting the All-Star game. Also, he's ambassador for the team and for potential free agents who are coming there. So he's got to talk to these guys. This is a great opportunity. Guys are going to be in a great mood. It's All-Star weekend. They've got an extended vacation afterwards. I think Carmelo's got to play and, just get the word in, get in people's ears. Hey, you might want to come play with me next season.
Well, he can still be there. It doesn't mean
I know, but it's different.
Yeah,
It's
but when he
different.
walks on the court and gets the huge applause, he'll be able to say, hey, you see that? That's what the fans will do with you next year, man.
But the thing is, there's so many rumors about him being quote-unquote injured, but he can play through it. And then just to sit down right before the All-Star break, I don't think that bodes well.
Well, come on, you're crazy.
Just say, hey, you want to come play with me? I'm going to sit down. I'm gonna sit this one out.
You don't buy that after the All-Star break, whether or not he plays, he's actually going to play the rest of the season.
Oh, no.
There is
he's
no
gonna
way.
he's going to sit down
He's going to
at
get
some
surgery
point.
by the sounds of it now.
Not now. Not now when all these potential free agents are coming to visit his city.
Probably
feel
Monday, right after the All-Star game.
Right.
I feel that even if the game was in Brooklyn, I don't think he'd play, but because it's in Madison Square Garden,
I tend to agree with you.
I think he's just going to turn up, play less than 10 minutes, and then go and have the
And then probably not play for the rest of the season for the Knicks. I guess
It's
we'll
not
find
how
out.
many minutes he plays. It's just that he gets announced in the starting lineup.
Yeah, for sure. Well, keep your eye, of course, on NBA.com. Again, he's listed as doubtful tonight. Melo is, and whether or not he'll play in the game, we'll find out. Moving on, DeMarcus Cousins and the Kings. I mean, it's been a drama we've been talking about over the last little while, but according to NBA.com's David Aldridge and others, George Karl likely will become the Kings head coach after the All-Star break. They're reportedly getting close on contract terms. And All-Star power forward DeMarcus Cousins, he's weighed in on this this whole situation.
Yeah, this is something I didn't really want to see. This is what DeMarcus Cousins told Yahoo Sports. He said, I wasn't consulted when the decision was made to fire Mike Malone, and I'm not being consulted now. I just hope they make a decision soon and stick with it. George Karl's an experienced, proven coach, and if that is who they choose to coach this team, I'll support it. I do not like all these discussions in the media while we have a coach in place. It's a distraction and not fair to Coach Corbin and this team. I just feel like if he needs to speak up, he feels the need to speak up, then something is troubling him. And if I own this team, my best employee, I want to keep him happy.
Yeah.
I would talk to him. I would be transparent about it. I know players play and coaches coach and everyone in the front office should just do their job. But at the same time, I mean, why give him another reason to be angry? As we said, Mike Malone was fired. He found out about it on social media, his favorite coach ever. Tyrone Corbin was given a job for the rest of the year. He found out about it on social media. I just don't want to keep on giving him things to be angry about. In year 5, another year where they don't make the playoffs. And yes, he has shown he wants to be there. He signed through 2018. But I don't want to make DeMarcus angry. Not because he's a hothead, because he's my best player.
I think he's just so over everyone asking about all this stuff as well. He's tired of all the microphones in his face.
But if they talk to him about it, he wouldn't feel he needs to do
Right,
it.
maybe.
He's the next Dwight, Melo, Kevin Love to me. Start getting your trade assets ready because he will want out eventually. For sure.
Whoa. Well, again, George Karl very likely to become the new head coach. And we've seen George Karl turn around teams before.
No diggity, no doubt.
And eventually get them into the playoffs. So, of course, keep your eye on NBA.com for the latest update on that. Lots more still to come with the Plaid guys here. When we return, we'll open up the starters mailbox to answer a few of your questions. Like, what could LeBron do to win MVP this season? Is it even possible? That and a whole lot more. Come back.
Oh look, there's mail. We got mail. Woohoo!
We've got mail here on the starters because you guys are great at sending it in. Keep them coming, the starters at NBA.com. First one, guys. What would LeBron James need to do to win the MVP? It seems many have already eliminated him from discussion despite a higher net rating than Curry, Davis, and Harden. Crazy stats like 26, 7, and 5, and a 26 PER. Is there anything LeBron can do himself to make up that perceived gap? That's from Daniel in Arkansas. What do you think?
I don't think there is a perceived gap. I mean, you're saying a net rating, basically it's plus minus over the year. I think that just means that LeBron has better teammates. So he's got a better plus minus, and he plays against slightly weaker competition. I think Anthony Davis is having the better year.
So you think there's no, what are you saying? I guess I really don't understand what you're saying. There's not a gap for MVP? Because I think there is a gap. Yeah, I think you got Curry and Harden, and then most people would maybe put Davis, and LeBron isn't being talked about very much. I don't think he has a chance of winning this just because he switched teams and picked his team.
Well, we
There's
saw
too much stigma.
We saw that before, right?
Exactly.
When he went to the Heat and Derrick Rose, and they sort of struggled, and everyone thought they would be this dominant team, and they struggled, and Derrick Rose and the Bulls put up a lot of wins, like either your Curry are doing, or even your Hardens, and had great numbers, and Derrick Rose won it in 2010-11. I don't think LeBron has a chance to win.
Yeah,
it.
definitely not.
Well, if the Cavs somehow get to that top spot in the East, I think that could really help his case. Otherwise, I think he's going to struggle because he's no longer the prettiest girl in the ball anymore. You know, everyone's fallen in love with Steph Curry and James Harden, and they have been absolutely fantastic and fully deserving. I think that what's going to go against Anthony Davis is, of course, if the Pelicans don't make the playoffs. But then I think LeBron, he needs to do something that really stands out with his team to give himself a shot.
Yeah, I think he's just in that glut of second guys. I'm with Harden, Curry, and Davis in that same light.
In the top tier.
Just in that top tier. And we had the PER number up there, and PER doesn't tell you everything about a player and his performance. But just watching LeBron, he just hasn't been LeBron the entire year, and he had to take a couple of weeks off. AD has been the more consistent player no matter what his record says because LeBron's teammates are better.
LeBron has played a little bit more like MVP LeBron, if you want to call it that, since that
coming
break,
back.
though.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right, great question. Actually, in fact, one more thing. LeBron didn't even finish second that year he lost to Derrick Rose. Dwight
People were
Howard
very
was
mad
that.
at
Yeah,
him
people
that
were.
year.
Yeah, that's true. The whole moving to Miami thing there. All right, next question here. Guys, I was sure we would see Ray Allen on an NBA roster by this point in the year. What are the odds that he'll lace up this season? I would love to see him join my Warriors, but what other teams do you foresee having a shot at getting Jesus Shuttlesworth for a second half push? That's from Logan in Walnut, Creek, California.
If you had one shot to take, you'd probably have Ray Allen take it. If it's a wide open shot, I'd probably pick Ray Allen. But at the same time, who's he going to join and whose minutes is he going to take? If I got him at the end of the bench, I mean, sign him up. If you've got an empty roster spot like the Hawks just created when they traded away Adrian Payne, I'd take him. But I do worry a little bit about him taking Kent Bazemore's minutes because Kent Bazemore does a little bit more everywhere on the basketball floor. They need somebody athletic who rebound and who can defend. But if you can sign him up, it's sort of like the Jeff Green in Memphis situation over Tayshaun Prince. Just do it.
Yeah.
I don't think, though, someone like Kent Bazemore is in trouble because I think Ray Allen is there purely to close the game if they need it in the last minute. Whoever's going to get him, there's a lot of interest for him because we saw how he can change a series just with that shot in Game 6 against the Heat. And he did it last year in the playoffs as well against the Brooklyn Nets. Ray Allen is such a clutch performer. Teams just want him out there at the end of the game because he can hit that shot.
Could
you
you take him
imagine?
off for like 2 minutes? Do you bring him in for 2 minutes at the end of the game?
I think that's all you would really need to do.
A
with
closer.
him. Yeah, I mean, he's basically like a closer in baseball. He would just come out there for that one shot because you know if he's on the floor, defenses are not going to leave him at all.
Can you
those
imagine
Cavs be warm, though?
Can you imagine a
That's the
Hawks roster? Yeah. Can you imagine a Hawks roster with Korver and Ray Allen?
Exactly. Exactly.
The
Wide open
space
lane.
that you would open up with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, the Hawks are up there. The Warriors in discussion. Ray Allen. You're right. I'm with Tass. A lot of teams. Why wouldn't you want a guy like Ray Allen at the end of your bench to help try and swing a series? All right, final question here. Love this one, guys. Which NBA personalities, past or current, do you think would be the best to invite to a sleepover? I was kind of thinking Shaq and Barkley because they both look awesome in Snuggies, but then I started thinking, hey, that's a lot of pizza. There's a lot to consider. You don't want anybody lame who might go to bed too early like Juwan Howard, but you also don't want some crazy person that's going to wake up your parents and get you in trouble. What do you guys think? Who would be the best NBA sleepover guest? I love the ending to this email. Your buddy, Cobra.
Thanks, buddy.
Shots at Juwan Howard.
Yeah, that's
I would
true.
love to hang out with Juwan Howard.
Yeah, what's up with that?
So let's start with you, Lee. Who do you want as a sleepover guest?
It's got to be Pau Gasol.
Why?
First of all, he would bring over good healthy snacks.
Yeah.
You'd have intelligent conversation. He'd want to watch a good movie too, like Shawshank Redemption. And most important, he wouldn't want to watch The Hangover or some sort of silly comedy. Most importantly, I think he would want to go to bed at a reasonable hour.
Yeah.
I think
Which you like to do.
10:30, 11, maybe 11:30. It's
Whoa,
Shawshank
you
Redemption.
crazy
You
wild
gotta
man.
start Shawshank early.
That's what I mean. It's a long movie.
You got a basketball player over, and I just want to go to bed early.
Got to get up early and shoot free throws together. So,
Really,
you
really.
know.
Listen, I'm taking Big Baby Davis because he doesn't like healthy snacks. We're snacking on pizza all night long. If we run out of heat, let's say the heat goes out, I got Big Baby to warm me up just in case. You never know. You never know. He loves video games. I mean, if you're staying up for 10 hours, you could probably play some video games. And this is just a fun guy. Look, he's smiling already. We're having a great time.
You better hope that party's in the basement. 'Cause,
Oh, yeah.
Big Baby walking around your floors with their parents. What about you, Trey?
Well, unlike Lee, I like to stay up late on my sleepovers, and that's why I'm inviting J.R. Smith over, because there's nobody better at late nights than J.R. We have a lot of the same interests, you know, shoes, rap music, hats. We'd have a lot to talk about. We could play swords. It'd be fun.
All right.
Hope
my
we're
pick-
not neighbours.
Place.
I'm very competitive. I'm very competitive. So I would like Rondo to be my sleepover guest. He's a big Connect 4 fan. I love the game.
Great game.
I'd like to see if I could take him down. It might take all night.
Hey,
So
it's worth it.
We'll play board games. He's super competitive. I'm sure he's into video games, all that fun. Let's hear what you guys think. Best sleepover guest just from the NBA. Or maybe just your friend. Maybe you just want a friend over.
Hey, we'll come spend the night at your house if you want.
When we come back, Tony Allen leads the way in another edition of the Starters Meme Team. Back in 2.
Maybe I'd take Cousins. He loves Boys to Men.
Every week here on The Starters, we scour the internet to bring you the meme team, our favorite weird and wacky moments from the past 7 days. Does this week's meme team involve killer dolphins? Let's find out.
Well, we're starting with the latest trend in the NBA, botched inbounds passes, simple inbounds passes. Here are the Suns Thursday night. A little inbounds. Oh, no, we're going to do it twice. What is happening? Big mistake. Eric Bledsoe takes it out. Let's start this fast break. PJ Tucker says, nah, let's slow it down.
He's not happy,
yeah.
Eric.
They're a little too fast.
upset.
I mean, 6 minutes into the game, you can't make that mistake. Worst of the week, winner
Last
last
week,
week,
yeah.
Norris Cole. Big mistake here. Trying to inbound to Hassan Whiteside. That's an inbound.
Better 6 minutes in than the last minute of the game.
That's true. That is a good play.
Wolves took control of the game right after that. Very, very.
It is a hard play. At number 4 on Tuesday, Bulls guard Aaron Brooks committed the embarrassing airball layup.
Wow.
We've all had a few of those.
Or was he throwing a noop? And if he was throwing a noop, look who's trailing.
Yeah.
Okay.
If
He's
he's
got
throwing
ups.
a noop, also not a great play.
Really? Mirotic? I'm not sure he's the high-flying arsenalist.
Tony Allen pointing. Oh, yeah! Forcing the backcourt violation on Kyle Korver, being the demonstrative Tony Allen that he is. Key moment, key move by Tony Allen, and we got to show you this. He did it earlier this year as well. This one, a little bit more flair. Whose ball? Our ball!
A little more pizzazz.
Another
Which
one.
way? That way.
Can't wait till he retires and become a referee.
At number 2, Dwight Howard showed up in a crazy suit on Tuesday night. And you're not going to believe this. The internet had some fun with it, busting out a game of who wore it better, Dwight or the living room curtains. Tough call. Dwight or this romantic mood lamp. Or Dwight and the straight-up kitchen backsplash.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
What is that jacket?
At number 1, OKC and their emaborate handshakes. They do it all year long. Jeremy Lamb, Perry Jones making it happen. Even the trainer back there, that's Tony Katzenheimer, making it happen back there. Everybody getting involved. Jeremy Lamb. They actually don't replicate each other, though. Perry
Maybe
Jones
that's part of
doesn't
it.
get down. He doesn't really rub the chest. This from earlier in the year was fantastic. The no fluff handshake between Steven Adams and Nick Halls.
Just respect.
No
I love
messing
that
around
Durant's
with
just
those
waiting
guys.
for it.
Back to these guys.
Do they get to take turns standing behind her, do you think? Like, it's your turn to show off
Yeah,
your
maybe.
handshake this time.
Everybody. Training staff.
It's your turn on the meme team. Is what they,
Yeah,
they
exactly
say to
right.
each other. All right, guys. It's Valentine's Day this Saturday, so we wanted to maybe help out a few of you who are sort of scrambling for some last-minute Valentine's Day cards. We whipped a few together. I would suggest just taking a photo of your TV, or if you're watching online, just quick screen
So
grab of it.
beautiful.
A few NBA Valentine's Day cards, straight up your dynamite, or I'm mad about you, with Kevin Garnett on the ground. You're a great catch. John Salmons. You could go with Derek Fisher. You're plum perfect with the 2 plum dogs. I like this one. You blow me away. Lance and LeBron with the meme there. Or my favorite, Yao complete me. So there you go. Again, just if you're scrambling for some
Yeah,
last
if you want
minute
your girlfriend to dump you, just give her one of those.
Well, if you really want your girlfriend to dump you, you'll check out the Valentine's Day special with her. This Saturday, 1:30 p.m. Eastern Time is when it premieres. We count down our top 20 NBA All-Star moments. We had a lot of fun making
Of all
this show.
time, that was fun.
Of all time, so check that out. Let's unleash the unicorn. Get out here, unicorn. Today's Fantasy Minute presented by FanDuel, the leader in one-day fantasy sports. It's a little bit. Fantasy line of the night, 3 nominees, Pau Gasol, Ty Lawson, and James Harden. Do you have a short name? You're in the running. Pau Gasol versus the Kings. 26 points, 11 of 15 shooting, 4 of 4 from the line, 16 boards, 3 assists. He didn't have any defense, but only 1 turnover, so he's not hurting you in that department. A really good game in the Bulls win. A little light, number 2 for Ty Lawson, 32 points against the Lakers. 12 of 20 shooting, 7 of 8 at the line, hit a 3, 16 assists, 3 rebounds, 2 steals, and only 2 turnovers.
Thanks, Lakers.
In a Nuggets win against the Lakers. Yeah, thank you. But the Will Boy goes to James Harden, who had a crazy game against the Suns there last night. 40 points, 13 of 23 shooting, 11 of 14 at the line. He lives there. 3 threes made, 12 rebounds, 9 assists, nearly had the triple-double, 3 steals, a block, and yes, he had a lot of turnovers, but when you put up a line like that, you can't knock the guy. So congrats.
Not
to
that
James
short of a name, James Harden. It's 11 letters.
Harden. Not too bad. Pau Gasol, Ty
Ray
Lawson,
Kirby's shorter. Lee Ellis is shorter.
JT.
We weren't
Jason
playing in the
shorter,
league,
right.
but
We're all short.
Final break. When we return, pick and payoff results and a very solid play. Come on back. Back with the starters, a look at last night's pick and payoff results. Tass gains a game. He had the Rockets, I took the Suns. So Tass went 4-1, I'm 3-2, I'm 3 games up. Tonight's picks, we like 4 of the Magic, Pelicans, Mavs, and Clippers. But the one we disagree on, hashtag Thunder Grizzlies. Tass likes OKC. I will take the Grizzlies on the road. Good luck, sir. Lee, let's get to the very solid play of the night.
we're going to Charlotte. Beautiful action here from Cody Zeller. He's involved in the play from the start to the finish. Watch this. Hands it off here to Roberts. Sets a screen.
Yep.
Goes to Big Al. Gets it back to Cody. He throws it down. It's a beautiful play. Unfortunately, the Hornets couldn't get the win, but it wasn't because of Cody's fault. He was doing everything he can. And that's what I call a very solid play.
It's not your
5-4
fault.
drop-off.
Not your fault, Cody. Next time you'll see us, guys, Friday live from New York. Gonna have some fun at All-Star, 6 p.m. Eastern Time here on the network.
Thank you for joining us, folks. We will see you then. And remember, creative wife, happy life.
Brace the night, people.